Hey, what it do, everybody? Today I'm back with another video, and I want to just make a short little segment going over Owlweaving. What is it? I mean, people call it Owlweaving, boomboxing. I personally am a fan of moonwalking. I like to call it moonwalking. There's all kinds of ways to describe this phenomenon that now ails feral druids. What is it, and how do you do it? Let's jump into that video now. So basically what you want to do, Owlweaving is the shifting from cat form into balance form, and then popping a little sunfire, and then going back into cat and continue your rotation. Now that is slightly different on single target. Say you're in raid, what you actually do is you would be on, say, like, you know, a single target boss and whatever, and you'd be getting, you know, going low on energy and whatever, and then you would press your Heart of the Wild, which would then allow your Star Surge to be instant cast, and then you would Sunfire and then go back into cat. That does change slightly, I believe, when you're playing with Deep Focus, the legendary. That then means that instead, when you shift into form, I think you're either Star Surge and then Moonfire, or you literally would just Sunfire and Moonfire and then go back into cat. But what I normally like to do, if I can get really low, let's see if I can get really low on energy. If I can get really low here, right? I can get really low. Then I'll shift in. I'll do a Star Surge. I'll do a Moonfire, do a Sunfire, back into cat, and I'm not quite at 100 energy yet. So if you can actually get if you can get low enough on your energy before you shift in raid, then you can actually get all three, which I don't know if it's necessarily worth, but I know that you can do it. I mean, what I normally like to do if I'm going to do anything like that is I would get really low on energy, and then I would Moonfire, instant Tiger Fury, which would then put me straight back into cat, and then I'm basically getting my Moonfires that way if I'm using Deep Focus. Be careful if you make a macro of that, though, because it does sometimes bug, apparently, but that's by the by. So that's how you kind of do it in raid. And you would do this Heart of the Wild, so you can only do it once every 5 minutes for the Heart of the Wild instant, because Heart of the Wild makes your Star Surge instant cast, right? So you want to make sure that you're using it there. Whereas when you don't have Heart of the Wild available, then you're only able to, you're not gonna hard cast a Star Surge, as appealing as that might be. One day we probably, hey, you know what? One day we probably will. Okay, one day we probably will, but. What you would do in, say, Mythic Plus, you would get to a point, and let me just make sure I've got all my talents and everything set up here. Yeah, so this is what I would probably play in Mythic Plus. So obviously you have to make sure that you have Balance Affinity selected and Heart of the Wild. Now, we are running or Balance Affinity here because of the yard increase on all of your abilities. You get 3 yard increase on all of your skills, which is really, really important, especially on, like, a Spiteful Week or Storming, things like that. Keeps you out of harm's way, which is really good. But also, you're getting access to Moonkin form, and then obviously the abilities based on that. So what you would do in AoE is you would go into combat, and you would generate your Blood Talons, get that up and running. Now, I never like to use it on the first. I like to get a second Blood Talons up and running. There we go. Because of that snapshot window, it gives you a little bit more time on that, Primal Wrath before it falls off again. But the thing you want to look out for, so what you want to make sure you do is that you get your Primal Wrath up and running before you weave. You then want to make sure that you're as low energy as possible. So like right now I was at like 30 energy and I can weave there. And that's all you need to worry about, is that you're low energy and that you have your Primal Wrath up and running. Now, the more rakes that you can also have spread at the same time as well, that's fantastic. That's great. But it doesn't need to, like, you can't always guarantee that you're going to have rake spread on everything, and sometimes you can miss that window because you're busy rake spreading, and then you miss the weave window. So yeah, so you want to just be careful with that. But in general, that's kind of the general principle. You make sure you have Primal Wrath up, you make sure you're low energy, and then you weave. And of course, be very aware, like, if you have an interrupt upcoming, say you're on voice comms, and your team go, oh, you know, Sai, you've got the next interrupt, and then you're over here you can't interrupt. Be aware. One thing that I see a lot of people do whenever they Owlweave is they'll go to get ready and then they'll like jump back and then Moonfire. You don't want to do that because you want to make sure that you're still auto attacking, like you're still in auto attack range, because your auto attacks actually hit really hard and you can still proc your clear casting from like Moonkin autos. So you don't want to potentially like lose a clear cast proc there. So keep that in mind. Now, why is this suddenly occurring? Why are we suddenly doing this? We're suddenly Owlweaving because I believe we've got the access to Sunfire, which I don't think we previously had, if I'm not mistaken, but we now have this access to Sunfire in Moonkin form, which then means that you're encouraged to do so. It does more damage. Sunfire is uncapped, and it will do more damage than just auto attacking, right? On definitely on 2 or more targets, and on 1 or more. I mean, with Heart of the Wild and Star Surge and stuff like that, it's like it's worth there. So that's why we're suddenly doing this. You don't have to do it. Overall, in a dungeon, it will be a minor increase. It'll be like between like 3 and 6% DPS increase. Probably not even 6%. Maybe like, you know, 3 to like 5%, I'd say, which is really nice, but it's not, you know, don't let it be at the detriment of your regular rotation. Don't screw up your regular rotation for it, but just put in some practice. But hopefully that was a cool video, and you now understand what Owlweaving is. And hi, welcome to Feral Druid. All right, see you in the next one.